Hi, my name is Matthew Casale, and I'm an environmental engineer.
Hi, my name is Jason, and I'm in Honors Public Health with a specialization in health research.
And we're here to help you answer questions that you have about applying to jobs. This is a really awesome question, and honestly, it kind of depends. Although some jobs might not require a cover letter, a tailored cover letter can actually really help you. I will say that no matter what, do not submit a rushed or generic one. They're going to look at it and they're going to be able to tell very quickly that it is clearly rushed. So I seriously recommend going to talk to the Center for Career Action, and they definitely be able to help you out. Write at least some type of template that you can use, and you can start filling in for each specific job or the different industry that you're going to be applying.
Most people end up applying to about twice the number of jobs in their first work term compared to their other work terms. For example, in my personal experience, and this is my first work term, I applied to about 70 jobs. And in my second and third work term, I only applied to about 20, 25-ish jobs.
So not having experience is totally okay. And that's the whole point of co-op. You're supposed to go into a job and you're supposed to learn things. So in my first co-op term, I got a job with a great not-for-profit, super fun to work with them. Going in there, I had zero experience. Their required skills were communication, working with Excel, and being able to go around and understand some of the energy. So I really didn't know anything about energy, but I knew Excel and I could communicate really well. And so I knew Excel because I was taking courses. In these courses, they specifically used Excel to do a bunch of different calculations. And so I was able to showcase that. And I was able to say, well, in this course, I actually use this to do a bunch of different calculations, do a bunch of different data analysis and organization. So I highlighted that in my resume. And I did have work experience prior to coming into first year. I worked at Michael's, the craft store. And so I was a cashier there, and I got to communicate with a bunch of people. And so it was really just freezing what I had and recognizing that, they probably don't care about my Michael's job. Well, that's not true. They do care about it. They do care that you have that kind of experience beforehand. They do care that you do have coursework. Not having experience, totally normal. Learning to highlight what you've done is really important. Since I didn't know where I was actually supposed to be, I'd never had experience in this kind of thing. It was great to have that benchmark. And I guess that's what I used that resume that I created in that course as well, just as my benchmark. As from here, I'm going to grow it. I'm going to make it a lot better. Now, if we compare my first year resume to my resume this year, it's definitely two totally different things, but it still has some of the same elements. It still has, your bright, big name at the top of it, has your contact information, your LinkedIn, still follows the what, how, why model. I added in my summary of qualifications because I didn't know that was a thing until coming into PD1. And so that was a huge help.
Everyone's approach to applying to jobs is a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you should only apply to jobs that you consider accepting, or if you find the industry interesting. If there's any piece of advice from me to a first co-op term student, it would definitely be to keep your options open, but not to keep them too open to the point that they're applying to jobs that they have no interest in. I feel like you guys as first co-op term students should keep your options open, but only keep them open to the extent that if you were to potentially get a job offer from any of the jobs that you apply to, that you would be okay with working that job.
Well, every employer has their own approach to reviewing applications. You can usually use the job description as a cheat sheet to understand what their personal hiring checklist might look like. So in the co-op term that I'm going into, I am working a lot with a specific type of modeling software. And so I basically highlighted it, made it a different color and bolded it in my resume so that everyone knew that it was there. And when I had my interview, that's what they wanted to talk about. It was definitely the reason why I got this job. So the first thing that I always would do is I would kind of find the template that I wanted to work with. And every term it's changed, and I finally kind of stuck with the one that I liked. But after finding the template, I will go through the job posting to make sure that I understand what they're looking for. And so something that I've done is I have a Word document that has my experience or a course or something that I did. And then underneath, I have the points that go along with it. When I'm looking through that job posting, I can see, oh, well, they're looking for someone that has organizational skills. Awesome. At my last co-op, I, had to do a lot of organization. I had a lot of data analysis that I did. Well, I have this point that I've already written and I can put it in there. And so it's really just kind of matching and playing kind of like a puzzle game and double checking that, it actually makes sense and it actually works well with the job posting. And then after that, I will get either a couple of my friends or I'll get someone from the Center of Career Action, an upper year, to look at it just to make sure that everything kind of like checks out with it. And if you have some time or if you have someone that's in the industry, it's also awesome to say, hey, can you check this out for me?